Okay, Waka, today we're looking at 1.3 transformations of functions graphs homework tutorial. Okay, so let's take a look. Enter g of x in terms of f of x after performing the given transformation of the graph of f of x. Translate the graph of f of x to the left 5 units. Okay, so now you have to be careful in this problem. Is they're not counting by ones, they're counting by two. So we're counting by, to go left 5, we get count. There's 2, 4, 5. Okay, and so let's do the same thing here. So 2, 4, 5. Same thing here, 2, 4, 5. So the graph is right here. Now let's find the one that matches. Looks like A. Looks like it matches. So select that. Don't forget now the function. Now, when it says it translates to the left 5 units, okay, that's going to be f. F of x plus 5. Okay. So let's go ahead and put that answer down here. So then that's f of x plus 5. And check answer. Correct? All right, let's move on to question number 2. Okay. Enter g of x in terms of f of x after performing the given transformation of the graph of f of x. Translate the graph of f of x up 4 units. Okay. So here, and again, we're counting by 2. So here we're actually at 3, so we have to go up 1. And then at 2, there's 3 and 4. Okay. And another way to look at it, and it might be easier, I just thought about it, is you're at 3. We know we're adding 4. What's 3 plus 4? 7. So 7's right here. Okay. That's probably an easier way to look at it. Okay. Now, this one's easy because we're starting at 0. So we go up 2, 4. So we're right there. And then up 2, 4. That's their graph. Okay. Now, when we go up, the new function is f of x plus 4. The plus 4 is on the outside. Okay. So let's go ahead and answer the question. Okay. So let's find the one that matches. It looks like D is okay. And then we have f of x plus 4. Correct answer. I mean, oh, I didn't select that answer. Correct. There we go. Thought I selected it, but I didn't. All right. Now we're going to skip question number 3. We're going to go to number 4. Okay. All right. Back to the pen. It says enter g of x in terms of f of x after selecting the correct graph for the given transformation of the graph of f of x. Translate the graph of f of x down 4 units. Okay. So now we're counting by 2. So 2, 4. This A looks okay. I'm saying that A looks like it's the answer, but let's look at all the other answer choices. Okay. This only went down 2, so we know it's not B. All right. This one went down 2, 4, 5, so it's not C. And then this one went down 2, 4, 6, so it's not D. So I'm saying the answer is, or A, sorry. All right. Now, if it went down by how much? Let me see. Down by 4, so that's f of x minus 4. Answer that's correct. All right, let's move on to question number 5. Okay, enter g of x in terms of f of x after performing the given transformation of the graph of f of x. Stretch the graph of f of x horizontally by a factor of 2. Okay. Now, first off, it's a horizontal stretch, so we know it's going to get wider. Now, you can see A, that's a reflection, so it's definitely not A. Okay. B looks like a stretch, so we could be okay there. This is a vertical stretch on D, so it's not that. Okay. Now, and let me double check. This one actually is a vertical compression because it went down. So the answer is B. Now, it's a horizontal, so it actually is, and believe me, I spent some time working on this. It's F of, you actually have to take the 2 and do the reciprocal of the to make that a fraction 1/2, and then you put it next to the x. Okay, the 1/2 has to be in front of the x. You can't put x divided by 2. I tried that. Okay, so now let's do that. So then that's F of parentheses fraction 1. Oh, wait, let me trash that. You're going to have to get used to some of the technicalities of this program. Try it again. So first you want to type in F, and then you're going to come over here, click the 1, put the parentheses in the box, then go to fraction 1. Let me scroll this down, 2, and then click to the right, and then X. Correct. It has to be in that format. I tried, just so you know, I tried doing X divided by 2 like that. That's mathematically acceptable and correct, but the program doesn't accept it. It has to be in that format. Okay. All right. So the question 5, we're going to skip 6 and then go to 7. All right. Enter g of x in terms of f of x after performing the given transformation of the graph of f of x. Compress the graph of f of x horizontally by a factor of 1/4. Okay. And let's see what the step-by-step says for this. Okay. So it says for z, 0 is less than b less than 1, the graph of g of x equals f 1 divided by b of x is the graph of x. So it's a horizontal, so we know that that is greater than 0 but less than 1, so that is a vertical, or I'm sorry, horizontal compression. Actually, let me look at my notes. If you want to, I'm going to page 10 in my journal page to double check. That's actually a stretch. Okay, and I went to this page right here. If I can get that. There you go. So you can check your notes. That's how I got that part. Okay. All right. Now, and that's a stretch horizontally. Okay, check. What are they saying that I'm? Hold on. They say the horizontal is correct. I apologize. I apparently looked at my notes incorrectly. That's a horizontal compression. Okay, so then that's 4. And here's where it gets so confusing. You notice that when you're ever dealing with horizontal compression or stretches, it's opposite what you say. So if they give you the fraction, you put it in as a 4. If they give you 4, you put it as a fraction. Okay. Now select the graph that illustrates the above transformation. Okay. So it's a horizontal compression. Definitely not C. This looks like a vertical compression. That looks like it went down. I'm going to say the answer is B. That looks like it's a horizontal compression, but let's check. Yes. There you go. All right. And then let's go on to the next question. That was question 7. Now let's look at question number 8. All right, enter g of x in terms of f of x after performing the given transformation of the graph of f of x. Compress the graph of f of x vertically by a factor of 1/2. Okay, and again, I think this is again one of those good questions that step by step is probably going to help. All right, for 0 is less than a, less than 1, the graph of g of x is equal to a times f of x. Notice when it's vertical, the number is in front. Okay, so the graph of f of x is, this is 1/2, so that's compressed, and that's vertically. And you know it's vertically because the number's in front of the f of x. Okay. Now for a is equal to 1/2, the graph, when it's vertical, compression or stretch, the number is what it is. You just put it in the front, okay? Compressed vertically by a factor of 1/2. And so then this one's easy. It's getting basically compressed. So that one, that just looks ridiculous. That one I think is the horizontal compression. That's a vertical down, so I'm going to say the answer is A, that compresses. Check. All right, so we're good there. All right, now let's look at question number 9. Okay, entering g of x in terms of f of x after performing the given transformation of the graph of f of x. Reflect the graph of f of x across the y-axis. So here's the y-axis. So this one's easy. This point is here, okay? And then this point, it reflects. So again, we're reflecting everything across here. So this goes here. This goes here. This one goes here, and then this goes here. Okay, so let me see if I can do this right. So it should look like that. All right, so let's look at the one. So stay below 6. I'm going to say the answer is A. Now, if it reflects across the y, it's f of these negative x. The negative goes inside. When it's reflected across the y, the negative is inside the parentheses front of the x. Okay. So then come over here, f parentheses negative x. Check answer, correct. All right. Let's take a look at, that was question number 9. Let's look at question number 10. All right. Enter g of x in terms of f of x after performing the given transformation of the graph of f of x. Reflect the graph of f of x across the x-axis. So this one's basically you're reflecting this way, so it should look like this. Okay. So the answer is, oh, and also they're going to ask you this question. When it reflects across the x, the negative is in front of the f of x. Okay. So the answer, like, be careful. That's actually way too wide. This is the correct answer, D. And that's a negative f of x. Check the answer, correct. All right. Question number 11. All right. Enter g of x in terms of f of x after performing the given transformation of the graph f of x. Reflect the graph across the y-axis. So pretty simple. Here's the y-axis. So this reflects here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like this, reflected that way. Okay. Then now they're trying to trick you here, in that you're only wanting this piece right there. So the answer is, and then it reflects. Let me double check. They said it reflected the y-axis. So remember that's f of negative. The negative's inside the parentheses. Okay, so f parentheses negative. Correct answer, correct. All right. 11, 12. All right. Enter g of x in terms of f of x after selecting the graph transformation f of x reflect across the x-axis. So the x-axis, this reflects this way, so it's here. The graph looks like that. So and then remember, reflects across the x-axis, it's negative f of x. Okay. Find correct one, A, and then negative f of x. The answer correct. All right. We're going to skip question 13 and 14. We're going to go to question 15. Describe how the transformation of the graph of f of x is explored to obtain the graph of the related function g of x. Then select the graph of g of x. Okay, the graph of g of x equals negative f of x plus 3 divided by 8 is a reflection of the graph of f of x across the negative in front, so that's the x-axis. And then, see, you have the fraction in front, so that's going to be vertical. And then it's a fraction, so it's compressed by a factor of 1 divided by 8. And a translation of 3 units up. Oh, no. 3 units to the left. It's opposite of what that says, okay? So now, looking for irreflected. So normally the function would be parents here, but when you reflect it, it's actually it's upside down, okay? So we know that the answer cannot be A because that didn't reflect. It also cannot be the graph. This went up, so we know it's not there, so it's not D. And then it went to, this one went to the right, 4 it looks like, but the question says that it went left 3, so the answer would be B. Okay? All right, so that's question number 15. Let's go to 16. Describe how to transform the graph of f of x equals x squared to obtain the graph of the related function g of x. Then select the graph of g of x. Okay, so g of x equals f of 5x plus 3. The graph of g of x equals f plus, so let's see. Now, it's inside the parentheses, so that's horizontal. And then I believe that, and I'm going to go back. I always forget compression and stress. I'm going to go back and look at my notes on page 10. That's the B value. In that case, it's greater than 1, so it's a horizontal compression by a factor of, you always do the opposite, so it's actually 1 divided by 5. And a translation of 3 units up. All right, so now this one didn't, let's see, B didn't go up, so it's not B. D went up and the graph didn't go up. Let me double check. Oh, wait, no, ooh, I missed it. Hold on. It did go up, so let me go back. It did go up, so it could be D. Sorry about that. And then, and I apologize. It can, and you want to be careful. My trouble is like scanning up and down with information in the graphs gets confusing sometimes. All right, let me get here. This one went down, so we know it's not C. Okay. So then these both go up, and the biggest question is, it's a compression. That's a stretch. This is a compression, so the answer is D. So take the point 0, 0 and determine how it's translated. Then use that to determine the correct graph. What did I miss? All right. Now, if this ever happens to you, what I recommend doing is I'm going to demonstrate when you get stuck on something. I recommend go to the step-by-step feature. That's going to help you out. Okay. Now, describe how the transformation of the graph of f of x squared obtain the graph of the related function g of x. Then select. So here it says perimeter and values. A, that's the number in front, which is 1. Okay. See, the parent graph is, see, we talked about that. That is, turn the page away. Take it back to there. All right, so then the B value is greater than 1, so that's a horizontal compression. Horizontal by a factor of, it's always the opposite of what it looks like, so it's 1/5. I can't tell you how difficult horizontal stretch, compress, and R. It's one of my least favorite things to explain because it's just complicated. But I'm going to get you through it. All right, so then that's 1/5. H is 0. K is where it went up. Okay, and I can't believe they put it in there. It's kind of confusing to do that, but do f of 5x plus h and then plus k. Kind of remember from my notes. There is no h, so that's 0. So then k, we know is a 3. The parent graph is translated 3 units up. So let's check. All right, step 2. The table shows what happens to 3 reference points on the graph of f of x. Okay, the table shows, and I think this, you don't need this. Let's go to next. Okay. I don't see that's necessary and helpful. So let's skip that. These are transfer reference points for the graph. So we know that it is compressed horizontally. So it's actually A. That's a vertical compression. I think that's what I missed when. Yep. So again, horizontal compression can be kind of confusing, but it is what it is.
Would the following people come on down to the front office? Sandra Granberry, Brad Lamont, Timmy Freeman, Justin Sharp, Megan Burke, President Chancellor, Gretchen Knaus, Lavonda Bentley, Heidi Dixon, Cynthia Swain, and the fabulous Olisa Alex. Come on down to the front office and get your prize and everything.
All right. I apologize. I didn't win a prize and you didn't win a prize, but here's a prize for all of us. I'm going to cut 17, 18, 19, and 20 from the assignment. So you are done with that and have a wonderful Wildcat day.